Welcome to Confessions by Banana Ketchup. Need serious advice. Possible ghosts following me. Please help. Background. I moved out of a haunted in-law unit last August. Light switches kept flipping up and down by themselves while I was home on many occasions. My bathroom door closed itself, and when I went inside, saw the toilet paper draped up and around my shelf. Another night, I opened my closet door and started dialing into my safe above, when half my wardrobe flies backwards right in front of me. Another time, I walk inside my bathroom, and at the very moment I step foot inside, the lights turn off and on 3 times with long pauses in between. I just got that instant feeling like something was trying to get my attention and was frozen in fear. It got so bad that one day I just started yelling for it to leave me alone. The place was built 120 years ago with its own dedicated breaker box located inside. I ended up moving out and found myself a much newer, nicer in-law unit to live in. Before moving out, I lived here for 1 year, but the haunted stuff didn't really start happening until 11 months in, oddly enough. I was close to renewing my lease, thank God I didn't. Fast forward today, I moved out to my new place 5 months ago. For the first few months, I would get creeped out whenever I heard a noise or open a closet. Honestly, feel like I have paranormal PTSD from all the experiences at my last place. Then, this last month, I started getting the vibe like something is watching me sleep and have felt that every night now. Then the other night, I went to bake cookies. I put the trays in the oven, closed the oven door, and set the timer for 12 minutes. I then walk over to my computer, located in the same room. About 5 minutes later, the oven door opens and slams itself shut so hard. It was very loud. I instantly turn my head, walk over, and can see the 2 trays of cookies inside at angles now because of the force. I'm positive I close it, but I play around with the oven door for a bit to see if I can replicate what just happened anyway. Maybe it wasn't closed all the way. Maybe the tray was wedged between the door. Nothing. That oven is newer, and the oven door is heavy and stays shut with good force. It takes a good amount of energy to open it enough to have it slam shut like that, which really creeps me out. Honestly, I'm not sure what to do at this point. Growing up with divorced parents, I've lived in 14 different homes and had paranormal experiences at a few of those homes too. So did my mom and siblings though, so I know it's not just me. Typically, I know that spirits tend to stay at the property they dwell at, but I'm worried that this last one may have followed me. I've read that can happen if they get attached to you, and this last one really messed with me a lot. It didn't even matter what time of day it was. Things would happen all the time. Although I didn't have any special paranormal abilities, I'm sensitive to them and I'm very tuned in, aware of the paranormal. I did not sage this new place when I moved in because I've heard that can cause more damage than good. I also did not sprinkle salt around the perimeter like I should have. I'm not sure what to do at this point. Should I sage or it is too late? I haven't been sleeping much lately, staying up until past 3 AM because I'm just freaked out now and can't sleep. Did this thing follow me? Is this a different spirit? It's pretty hard for me to dismiss this oven door event a few nights ago, but time will tell if I experience more things that are indisputably paranormal. I want nothing more than to feel comfortable at my new place, and any help is appreciated. It's such an awful feeling when I'm spooked out all the time and can't sleep because of it. It's putting a damper on my personal life. Thanks in advance. Thank you, Representative Odd 695, the author. We are being terrorized. I'm currently with my aunt, mom and cousin, as there's something tormenting us outside. For starters, me and my family live in a house with a reasonably large yard and have a guest house a bit away from the main house. My aunt, her husband, and my cousin moved in there early last year. Before they lived there, my granddad and step-grandma lived there. Granddad dies, we find out step-gran, who looked after my family for many years as part of our family, has been stealing and selling our stuff. We recently find out uncle is abusive and we kicked him out. Since then, my aunt has been staying alone in the guest house, since my cousin stays down with me. Now, my aunt has been experiencing some crazy stuff. I've had a few experiences with this kind of things, but holy skit, this is something different. Yesterday, a city generator blew, so most of my city is in a blackout. Creepy setting set. I'm lying in bed around 11:30 when I hear my aunt scream for my cousin. He runs outside and brings her down, and she's sobbing. She said something was holding her down and stopping her from moving. I figured it was sleep paralysis. We are all sitting around the lounge trying to calm her down when we figure the candles are still lit in her house. We go inside the house and move them to the middle of the floor so they don't fall and she can just out them back when she goes to sleep. A few minutes pass and my cousin takes her into the house then, calls for me. The candles moved, closer to the sofa, almost setting it alight, far from where we set them. My cousin runs down when my aunt asks for some milk. I figure whatever and wait outside her house while he comes back. Next thing I know, I hear this horrible noise, like a sofa being pushed, but it was definitely a voice. I see shadows start moving on the phone all. Safe to say, I run down and tell my mom and cousin. We go up and she acts clueless to it all, making me think this thing might have got to her. We take her down and tell her to spend the night until we call the pastor in the morning. While sitting around, we heard 3 distinct taps on the door. I think it's my dog, as he sometimes scratches the door. They scream and tell me to stop. It was knocks, not scratches. I hear my dog crying and really want to open the door, but they assure me that's not my dog. I thought about calling the police, but they'd probably think we are nuts. Worse than that, I know a person isn't in the yard playing pranks in the dark because the dog would have barked. We wait a bit and I can't take it, so we open the blinds and look for my dog to see if he's fine. Here's the ducked up part. He stands on 2 legs and scratches against something on the side of the wall, like he does to us when he greets us. But the thing is, when thought I couldn't see the full view of him, his body was far enough back from the wall that there had to be something in the way, like a person. We all backed away and are currently hiding in the lounge. I'll update if anything else happens. Stay safe. Update, holy skit. So this guy my parents know came over. He's said to be a prophet. He prayed over water and salt and buried it in jars all over the yard. Afterwards, he told my parents that he had a vision. He said that the reason things are going on is because my grandfather didn't die a natural death. See, the way my grandfather died, he was old, so they figured old person death. But this guy is saying that the reason my granddad died was because of his hands. He said he can't say more than that. He also said the life we are living isn't our own. After all that, he went into the guest house to pray, and I skid you not, it started raining and thundering, but earlier it was hot and sunny as hell outside. I'm not sure what's gonna happen now, so I'm out. I might update again. Stay safe. Thank you, King Ganja 1301, the author. Something followed me from Lake Shawnee Amusement Park. A few years back, during my junior year of high school, I was in a tourism class at my vocational school. It was a lot of fun, honestly. Me and my buddies got to go on trips while others were stuck in class. In mid-October of 2017, we went to Pipe Stem in Pipe Stem, West Virginia. The first day was pretty standard as far as a trip can go. Me and the guys had our own cabin out in the woods, and the girls had the same accommodations. The next day, though, things got really weird. We were bored in our cabin the following night, so we decided to head to Lake Shawnee. It was an amusement park built on an Indian burial ground that operated back in early 1900s. It was shut down in the late 60s, I believe, after a child drowned in the lake. We waited till after dark and then headed over there cause it was only like 10-minute drive. We were laughing the whole way over there, just acting like dumb teenagers. As soon as we pulled near the tree line the park played just beyond, something felt off. All the joy was sucked out of me. I just felt like we weren't welcome there. The park has 2 attractions, the Ferris wheel and the swings. Basking in the full moon, the park looked haunting beautiful. At this point, we are still being skidhead kids, and I decided it's a good idea to take a seat on one of these swings. We hang around for 20 more minutes, but just as we are leaving, I feel a burning sensation on my lower back, like someone had pressed a hot iron against it. Ignoring it wasn't helping as it just intensified this scorching pain. I tell my body to pull out a flashlight and check out my back, see if I scrape it on a branch or on some rust at the park. Sure enough, 3 distinct claw marks ran the length of my lower back. It made all the hairs on my body stand up. I felt like something was there, hovering over me like a dark cloud. We got back to our cabin, and the scratches are nowhere to be seen at this point, but I wasn't feeling any better. I felt like I was a passenger in my own body, like I was in third person. There was something malevolent, I could feel it. But I was tired beyond belief at this point, so I go to our room and I crash on the bed. At about 3 a.m. that night, one of my buddies called from the living room, his voice trembling. Me and my 2 other buddies in the room go to check on him. The front door was wide open. He looked gaunt, drenched in sweat, appearance as how I felt only a couple hours earlier. He explained he was fast asleep on the couch when he felt a cool breeze across his face. Sitting up and seeing the seemingly endless wilderness outside our cabin, we were all shook pretty bad, as well had locked the front door and all of us stayed in our rooms for almost the entire night. I didn't believe in all this ghost BS before this happened, but something followed me back from the Lake Shawnee, something evil, perhaps even something ancient. Thank you, Papafischer, the author. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you already haven't, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any new episodes. See you again soon, and until then, please be safe.